Good morning and welcome everybody. I'm Orazio Fiorini and I'm the Senior Project Officer at EASPD, and today I will be the moderator of this workshop, which is about how to best support people with autism and intellectual disabilities in open labor market. This workshop will be mainly focused on sharing the good practices about the topic. And here on the stage, I have three wonderful colleagues that will present some of the practices, and then in the second part of the workshop, there will be an interactive activity. So first of all, going in order to present the colleagues, I have on my left Aliki Panagiotakou. Okay. I'm okay with Greek pronunciation, which is the manager of the Day Center for Adolescents and Adults with Autism Spectrum Disorders at Alma. Then we have Zoe Melachri, which is a special educator and career counselor still at Alma here in Greece. And last but not least, Antonio Garcia, which is the secretary of the board of trustees in Fundación Espurna in Spain. This workshop, as I said at the beginning, will explore some practices on how to best support persons with intellectual disabilities and autism in open labor market, how to join the open labor market, and also how to retain them in open labor market through some tailored support systems or structured work environments, personalized communication techniques, and also through the use, let's say, the implementation of some of the good practices that we will explore today. So thank you very much again for being here. Now I'll pass the floor to the first presentation by Aliki Panagiotakou from Alma, which will share a strategy for helping people with autism on overcome challenges in finding and keeping jobs. Thank you very much.
Hello from me. Thank you very much. I'm very glad to be here. And so inclusive employment is an approach that focuses on hiring, supporting, and empowering individuals with autism and intellectual disabilities in a way that embraces their unique abilities while providing the necessary support structures. It is not just about providing the jobs, it's about creating work environments where these individuals can thrive. The benefits of inclusive employment extend beyond the individuals themselves. Economically, it allows businesses to tap into a broader pool of talent. Companies that practice inclusivity often report increased innovation and creativity as a result of the diverse perspectives brought into the workforce. Socially, it contributes to greater integration and people with disabilities into society, fostering equality and reducing discrimination. People with autism and intellectual disabilities face various barriers to employment, many of which can be mitigated with appropriate strategies. Many individuals struggle with the nonsense of workplace communication. They may not pick up on social cues or body language, and this can lead to misunderstandings and difficulties in interacting with the colleagues or clients. People with, excuse me, a typical work environment can be overwhelming for someone with autism, and this might cause sensory overload. Many employers and colleagues have misconceptions, and these prejudices may result in fewer job opportunities. To overcome these barriers, we need to put specific strategies. Employers and support terms must work closely with individuals to gather information about their specific strengths, interests, and challenges. Individual supported plans are tailored to each person's unique needs and focus on providing the right type of support. Personalized job matching is a key to success. This means matching an individual's strengths to job tasks that suits them. Traditional interviews may not always showcase the strengths of someone with autism. Instead, employers can use skill-based assessments or allow trial periods. Pre-employment training helps to prepare individuals for the workplace by teaching job-specific skills and helping them understand the workplace expectations. Training can also be provided to co-workers and supervisors to promote understanding and foster an inclusive culture. Retention is just important as access. Employers should implement ongoing support systems and adaptations. Individuals with autism often thrive with clear and consistent feedback. Offering structured mentorship can help navigate challenges and improve performance. Regular check-ins ensure that any issues are addressed early. The physical and social work environment should be adapted to accommodate the needs of individuals with autism. This could include noise-canceling headphones or quiet workspaces or flexible schedules. Employers can allow for gradual transitions, such as starting with part-time hours and building up to full-time. Structure is critical to creating a supportive work environment for individuals with autism. Many thrive on routine and predictable schedules. Visual schedules and task analysis can help individuals manage their workload more effectively. Visual schedules, calendars, or charts offer a clear way to see what needs to be done. Consistency and predictability helps individuals feel secure in their roles. If changes are necessary, providing advance notice can make transition easier. Adjusting the workplace to reduce sensory overload is essential. This might involve softer lighting, reduced noise levels, or even giving the individual a workspace away from high traffic areas. Simple changes, such as allowing breaks in a quiet room, can significantly improve focus and comfort. There are a wide range of assistive technologies available to help individuals with autism or intellectual disabilities perform tasks more effectively. For instance, communication apps, and also organizational tools. Communication in the heart of the workplace relationship for individuals with autism is essential to adapt communication styles to their needs. We have to use direct and simple language, avoid idiomatic expression or sarcasm, be clear, concise, and specific when assigned tasks. Using email or written notes for tasks along with visual aids or diagrams could also help. For individuals who struggle with social interactions, digital reminders or task management, CAPS can also offer support. Having a job coach or a peer mentor in workplace can provide ongoing support because a job coach acts as a liaison between the employer and the employee. And now let's see the journey of Anna. Anna is a 28 years old woman with autism who has been working part-time for the past 4 months at Alma's social cooperative enterprise. She holds a high school diploma and has completed post-secondary studies in Vocational Institute. Through her studies, Anna participated in career counseling sessions, where her strong interest in the arts, particularly in cooking and baking, were identified. Anna is highly creative, preferring tasks that allow her to express herself, particularly through food preparation. She works best in quiet environments with clear written instructions and limited supervision. However, she struggles with early morning shifts and has a low tolerance for frustration. Any form of critical feedback tends to cause her significant emotional distress. Her previous job experience included a short stint in a neighborhood bakery. During her 1 month employment, Anna struggled with various aspects of work environment. The early morning shifts, the bakery's fast-paced, noisy environment triggered sensory overload. Furthermore, she found verbal instruction overwhelming. Feedback or corrections during work led to frustration and emotional aspects. Ultimately, these factors led to Anna's departure from the bakery. Recognizing her challenges, Anna reached out to Alma for assistance in finding a more suitable employment setting. Together with Alma's team, an individualized support plan was developed to ensure Anna could succeed in the workplace. Key elements of the individualized support plan included a thorough assessment of her strengths, work preferences, and needs. This helped create a clear picture of their environment and support system that could best suit Anna's professional growth. Alma carefully matched Anna to a role within its social corporative enterprise, assigning her as a cook during midday shifts. This role was designed to meet her preferences, allowing her to work in a quieter, slower-paced environment. Verbal feedback was replaced with written instructions. Instead of spontaneous corrections, feedback sessions were scheduled at regular intervals. Emphasis was placed on praising Anna's strengths alongside any corrections, ensuring that feedback felt balanced and supportive. The first phase of Anna's employment involved close collaborating with a job coach who provided daily on-the-job support for the first month. Over time, the job coach's presence was reduced. During the second month, responsibility for providing day-to-day guidance shifted gradually to a mentor. Anna's inclusion in the workplace proved to be a success. She managed to overcome the sensory overload and frustration she had previously experienced. Her confidence grew, and the steadily improved her culinary skills, gaining more professional experience in the process. For the enterprise, Anna's inclusion provided multiple benefits. On social level, Anna's success highlights the potential of individuals with autism when provided with the right accommodations. Her journey demonstrates the value of creating tailored support systems that allow individuals with disabilities to thrive in professional settings. Moving forward, Alma will continue to support Anna's professional growth by job search assistance, networking connections, follow-ups, and feedbacks. In closing, inclusive employment is not just about offering a job to individuals with autism and intellectual disabilities. It's about creating a workplace where everyone can contribute, thrive, and feel valued. By addressing challenges and implementing tailored strategies, we enable these individuals to reach their potential while enhancing our own organization through diversity and innovations. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Aliki, for your presentation. You were right on time. So before to pass, just to inform that we have a Q&A session right after the two presentations. So now I invite Antonio Garcia from Fundación Espurna to present the good practices that they are implementing in Spain. Thank you.
Hello, good morning. Good morning, everyone. I'm Antonio Garcia. I'm from Fundación Espurna. I will present, I have a presentation, so I think, labor enclaves integration into mainstream work environments. Labor enclaves, we work with mainly with persons with intellectual disability. Mainly is 90% of our workers are persons with intellectual disability. And we work into mainstream work environments because we go to work always with our teams of workers, with a facilitator, with an enabler to the company that we work there. We have a law in Spain which provide us to do that. It could be, and each year we have to transition 1% at least, 1% of the workers who are there to the mainstream company. Well, we were in the Comunidad Valenciana in Spain. We will be founded in 1996. We started with 5 workers and with 1 enabler. The idea of the founder was not to be very big, but nowadays it's big because finally we have 100 persons working for us, to occupational centers. And then we provide our workers came from the occupational center, came to sheltered houses, sheltered workshops, and from the sheltered workshops, if can, to ordinary employment. We also provide housing and something more. But the idea is to support and integrate persons with disabilities, mainly intellectual, in the society, because we are part of society. We need to stay there. And for this idea, we provide also sports, leisure, and all the things we can. We generate employment through the main idea is the labor enclaves, because we work inside the companies doing what they do with their machines, with their mates, their colleagues are the persons of the other employees. And finally, each year in each company has to pass to the ordinary company, and it's more easy. I will explain about that, because they have showing their capacities there, and they are completely aligned with the idea of work of the company, because they were a proven time to work there for 3 years. So it's easy to be comfortable in this company with these new mates, which are not new, because they were working with them. Also, we have a restaurant, big restaurant. I hope next year we'll see you there. And also eco-friendly vehicle cleaning services, what we have started this year. The model is a contract with a regular company to promote employment for people with difficulties in accessing jobs. We have the model is a law. We have a law in Spain who says that and the law says that it's for increasing the employment for people with special difficulties to access employment. And the model says that we have to put there at least 3 persons. We usually go with 5 or 6 or 9 or 10 could be to the ordinary company with a facilitator. The facilitator is a worker also. It's not only saying you have to do that and that and that. It's a worker with them, but it's a person who has the skills to speak with our workers and with the workers of the company, because it's the person who needs to be communicating every time. And the law says that if you want to continue more than 3 years, at least one person must transition to the open labor market. So when you do this contract with a company, they know that finally they have to hire them. So you are increasing, as the law says, you are increasing the work for the persons with special needs, which are the persons with intellectual disabilities, also with autism in some cases, but we are more focused in intellectual disabilities. Thanks to provide them at least one work, we are providing works, we are paying salaries, we are taking them to the companies, because finally they are in many cases they are not near the city. We take them with a van and we go with them, and the facilitators go with him. So the challenge is generate employment. The objectives are so simple. Avoid fears from both sides, because the fear is from the company, from the employer, and the fear is also for the worker. Because if you say to someone, you have to go to this fabric which is completely outside of the city, you have to go there, and there's no one there. What you are avoiding fears, because you are arriving there, and you are arriving there with him or with her working there, and avoiding fears of the employee, because the employee don't want any trouble, he wants to work, and the work was done, not more than that. And then you say, no, you have no problems with the persons. Never, because because the person are good workers, as you will see. But also, if you have some problems, you have a facilitator there, and you can say, I'm changing the order, because in some places the order are always the same. But could be you want to change something. Okay, because today we have to change that and that and that and that, and we have a facilitator there always with them working, not as a shadow, because they are working with him. Doing the same. So no fears. You are showing abilities, because the prejudice is always there. The persons with disabilities, with intellectual disabilities, they have to know the other workers, not only the big boss. The other workers, in many cases, my work. A person with disability, I think it's not easy. He can or she can do that. You are showing that. You are creating personal relationships, not only working. You are doing that, but we also, that is not by law, but we do it. We create. We are doing football matches, and last year we do a contest of paella to create some links. It's a good idea, yeah. Some links, because the workers are doing paellas with the other mates. We are not hired by the same company, but for me it's the same, because we are working together, we are playing together, we are doing that together. And when we are going around the city, you know this man because he was with me. He was in another company, he was with me, it's completely different. We are adapting the environment, doing adjustments, thanks to the industrial engineers who work with us, before and during the time, because finally you can be working and something is changing, and finally you are working, and could be that's an overload work. So you have to change it, because to do it best. In one case, for example, it's so simple. We are working with a company which are doing something about beds. I don't know how many times I'm using. Oof, I have to finish, and in the middle. Finally, one of our workers don't know how to read, and he has to take some things to send to Barcelona, another to Sevilla, another to that, but he don't know how to read. Finally, we put colors in, so it was so easy for him and for the others. And as mentioned yesterday, the other workers says we prefer also to have the colors because it's easy for us because I know that this is in the correct way, and so I take this color and put it. So we are adapting the environment, increasing communication, having. I will have to increase my positive. Yes, positive impact, inclusion of people with severe disability. We collaborate with automotive, with food, with wood industry, with cardboard, because we have, there are small groups, so we have to work with many companies. With this, I think is best. The companies value the professionalism and the positive cultural impact on the teams. And it's important for me, it's very interesting for me, from outside, because I'm a lawyer. We are performing quality. In many cases, we are in the part of the quality, counting and saying that, and it's our workers. They say in every company, they say that our workers are better than them, because our workers are completely focused on that, doing this work completely perfect, counting and counting and counting. And the workers of the company with no disabilities could be more distracted in some cases. So they say, when you do the quality job, finally we don't have any problem, never. And with the other could be 10 till 10 to 5%, and we are going to 0 with our workers. And we say, okay, you can hire all of them. No, thank you. It's always the same. But you have to understand that, because finally the companies don't want to have any worker, nor with disability, not the other. So that's a reality we have to understand. Operation channel, we manage with teams with different abilities. The workplace stigma continues year to year, each year, and we are working there, but sometimes it goes wrong, it's your fault. That's a reality. We have to deal with that. In some companies it's easy, in other no. So no, we have in Spain, we have a problem with competition among other special employments, because they are not a real enclaves, but it's a real enclaves, because it's not the configuration, but the law, the labor inspection is saying nothing. It's a problem. But the lessons, to finish, established continuous communication is needed always. Also, when the person goes to the transition to the open labor market, they are working there, but we need to continue with the communication, because finally the job doesn't adjust to everyone, because the job is to work every day. It's complicated, and if you lose the contact with the person, could be, in some cases, they return to our center, because finally they lose contacts with the other workers, and finally it's not comfortable in the work. So he will return, and we will return to them to the open labor market if can. There's a need for regulatory changes. It's a problem for Spain, and we need to be held to high standard. We work with high standards of quality. We held with high standards of work, because if we are treated with charity, with false charity, I think charity is very important, but the false charity is bad. And if you are treated as charity, we lose the job, because they are thinking on production, they are thinking on money. So companies, I'm not against that. So I will finish, because I passed my time. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Antonio, for your presentation. And now it's the time for Q&A. I don't know if in the audience there are questions about the two presentations. Yes. Okay, without the microphone.
Questions. About the contract. So the contract is between the Espurna and the firm. Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, so we talked about the contract. The first step is a contract. So the contract is between Espurna and the firm. Okay, so it's as if you rent workers. As if you rent workers. That's the
Could you explain more the idea?
Yeah. You said that your model
Between us and the company.
Espurna and the company.
Yeah.
Okay. And who pays the workers with disabilities?
We pay the workers with disability.
Okay.
We are doing a work for the company.
Okay. So the company pays Espurna,
Yeah.
your organization, and the organization pays the workers with disabilities, right?
Espurna pays the workers at least minimum salary.
Okay.
Yes.
And who pays the facilitator?
Yes, we too.
You too. Okay.
Yeah.
And another question. You talked about competition. Your last.
Yeah.
Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
The question is, we are providing work for people with intellectual disabilities, with mental health problems, with autism, and because it's our focus. And then we have, we are shelter workshop, in fact, and we have some funds for that and some social security provided for us, better for us. But you can do the same with people with physical and sensory. You can do something similar with people with physical or sensory disabilities, with mild disabilities, because and with no needs to adjustments. And then it's a competition, bad competition, because they say, no, we are the same that them. No, you are not the same. You are providing work for many people who has to be in the open labor market because it has no problems, but you are looking for these mild disabilities to provide more production than our workers, and it's but I think it's needed a change in the Spanish law.
Okay, thank you very much. Congratulations. That's exactly what we want to do in our hometown. It's exactly the same idea.
Okay, I like
Thank
it.
you. There's another question here.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Congratulations to all of you. I'm Luis Nikowski from the Ministry of Cohesion and Family Affairs. Just, I would like maybe to react to you because you mentioned the main objectives, and one of the main objectives was the communication. And this is something very crucial for us, for policy making approach, and I guess for you. So I really think that the good practice is something very important, very crucial, but also very important how to disseminate the message of this good practice to make the difference, to make it work as a paradigm shift of what we're going to do for some other actions. So specific question maybe for you, maybe some others from the panels. Do you have a specific communication plan to actions to increase the awareness of this case in order to make its impact better and to have more influence to a part of your specific case? Because the important is how to make other to follow your practice.
How do we do our communication
Yes,
to
exactly.
companies?
Yes. How do you communicate the message? How do you communicate this impact to other companies, to other sectors, and generally in the society, to change the mindset?
Well, we don't use many time. It could be a thought, but we could communicating. In fact, we have the luck that we are growing thanks to the we call boca a boca, we get mouth to mouth, ear to ear, and thanks to also to the contact with the university. In the university, one other of the trustees are professors of the university in organization centers, in organization, industrial in the organization. So when they are seeing that they are a solution that we can provide, we are arriving to that. But we are not communicating our work. Well, in fact, it's an interesting question that we have 100 workers Okay, and then in the restaurant we are working with it's a restaurant which is open every year, but all the year, but it's in the beach, and in the beach only works in weekends and also in the time of the beach. Okay, and the time which is open normally the beach. Okay, and well, so in the restaurant is open from 10 years, I think, yeah, more or less. And 2 years after open the restaurant, I was speaking with someone in Garcia about Espurna. He said, "Okay, I know Espurna because it's the restaurant." I said, "Oh, we were working for 15 years with 100 persons, and you only knows us because we have a restaurant. So the restaurant is completely visible. The capacities in our restaurant are spreading our visibility more away than other things we have done. So it's more it's so curious how the smallest part of the Espurna is the more visible of that. I think the visibility is more, and also we have opened the cleaning washes eco-friendly. Also looking for that, looking for, because we are working, yes, but we are showing capacities also with that.
One here. I would ask to limit a bit the questions and the replies, because we have the interactive activity to do, so we have quite limited time. So let's pick these last three and then we move forward. One, two, and three. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, my question is for Antonio also. We have the same model in Portugal, but I would like to ask you, how do you deal with the frustration? Because sometimes it doesn't work. Some companies in Portugal will prefer the internship because they have funding for internship, but when the internship ends, the person goes again to the enclave or to the daily activity center. So we have persons with many experience, but not an effective contract. So how do you deal with the frustration?
We have psychologists to do that. No, well, I think the question is what yesterday says Patrick, and never give up. You only have this idea because finally is what I said. In some cases, you are doing all perfect, and then something is wrong in the company, and they say, "No, it's Espurna." I said, "Why? We are not there. We cannot do that." Yeah, for sure. Because some worker thinks it could be easy that the persons with disability are doing that. They're good, but it's what we have. I think we cannot give up.
Next question there. Yes. Clara.
Hello, Dr. Paul, Activities Brussels. I have a question concerning your experience with high functioning persons, for example, with ADD, the less known version of ADHD, the attention deficit disorder, where it is not visible and they might be perfectly able to do a job, but inside of the head, it might be very overwhelming and very tiring. Do you have any experience in that field with high functioning persons?
Sorry, for whom is the question?
The lovely lady.
Well, our experience is too low to this, to the ADHD high function, but we have to use the same strategies like schedules, visual aids, and can you help me, please? Can I speak in Greek? It's okay for you. Do you have headphones? Excuse
everybody.
me. No.
Not
headphones.
everybody.
Okay.
Is there anyone can translate?
As my colleague said, we have not so much experience in this deficit, but we focus on individuals with autism and intellectual disabilities. And the first thing that we do is to collect all the relevant information about the person as far as the employment is concerned. Their interests, their abilities, their skills, their strengths, their needs. And then we move on to the design of their personalized, individualized plan, where we set the goals and the step for each goal. Then we are trying to put into practice job techniques, job matching techniques, like maybe an internship in the place that the individual wants to be involved. And that's the steps, the methodology that we follow.
Thanks. Last question was over there, Clara. Thank you.
Thank you. Two short questions. I'm Timo with Autism Foundation Finland. So thank you for your presentations. We are also employing autistic people, helping them to get jobs in Finland. One question is about, are you using new technologies like VR, AR, I mean, virtual reality, augmented reality, to help the autistic persons to understand better the conditions where they are going to work, or helping them with different tasks? That's one question. And the other one is actually maybe more for Antonio, is you mentioned that there's 2% transition from to open labor market. Do you have any goals to get it to 4% or 5% or something to grow it a bit higher? Thanks.
Unfortunately, we don't use so much assistive technology, but in some cases, in order to reduce the overload sensory, we use noise cancelling headphones, or we do adjustment in the environment, like dimmer in order the lights to be more low. In some cases, we use timers and apps that the individual can have a checklist for his or her tasks. And in one case, we have a problem. We have a difficulty in writing and in reading. So we use an app that turns the speech into writing.
And for me, could you repeat the question, because I understand you want how we do the transition and how.
Actually, just is there a goal to increase the volume of the transition? Now it's 2%. Are you planning it to be 4% next year or something like that? I'm CEO, that's why I always talk numbers and growth and
yes, I like
stuff
it.
like that.
The idea of transition is it's mandatory for all. We are doing our numbers is 2% at the year. 2%. That's it's the usual number. We have no mandatory to transition in the sheltered workshop, but we have a mandatory if it's an enclave. We want to do more transitions, because finally we can in some cases, some years we have arrived to a big number, more big. It's 4%, not 20% or 1,000% we said yesterday. But our idea is to grow, to pick persons from the occupational center, but we have no numbers we try to continuously, because it's our main focus, because finally but we have we have not a target number. We don't have that.
Thank you very much for the presentations and for the lovely questions. I now pass the floor to Zoe for the next activity, which will be interactive. So.
At this point, we will move on to the interactive session of our workshop. In this part, we will be engaging in an interactive activity that encourages us to put into practice the strategies that we have been discussing in this part for integrating individuals with autism and intellectual disabilities into the open labor market. The goal of this activity is to explore real-life scenarios that challenge us to think how to create a more inclusive and supportive work environments. And through this, we aim to develop practical solutions for both employees and employers, ensuring that these individuals not only find a job, but thrive on their roles. So we will work in groups. The objective is to think together and come up with actionable strategies to foster inclusion, to improve communication, to create structured work environments in order to these individuals showcase their strengths and achieve meaningful employment.
Okay, I can explain what we are gonna do. Now we will move on the back of the room. There are some tables. There will be 3 tables. Each table will receive a scenario printed with some guided question about some real life situations and events. And the task will be to discuss in small groups, like brainstorming together, which kind of practical solution or which kind of good practices you can share. And you have a certain amount of time to discuss into this group and then rotate to the other in order to face all of the 3 challenges, all of the 3 scenarios that we foreseen. But just 1 person per table will remain steady there together with the scenario, collecting all the information in a flip chart with some markers. And at the end of the activity, the spokesperson will present to the audience the outcomes from this brainstorming. I hope it's clear. Isn't it? Super. So I kindly ask you to move on the back all together. Am I forgetting something? No. Let's do something alternative. We need to move 3 tables, 1, 2, and 3. Move a bit because they don't have space there. Okay. Almost. Very nice. Okay, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, so please divide into groups more or less the same size. Table number 1, 2, and 3, and they give you the scenarios. So this one has the number 1. You can even stand. I suggest you to stand because we don't have so much space and so much tables. And this is the number 3. So from now on, I kindly ask you to go in groups, read the scenario, and then the scenario and the guiding questions. And you have, let's say, 8 minutes, then nominate one spokesperson, and then you will rotate. Okay, so the group number 3 is there. Someone in the first and in the second. Yes, there is another scenario. So you can read it. No. There is another copy here, so you can then split. So, there is another copy.
Relax. Say that 30% of the persons are in his house. You cannot very relaxed. I'm not relaxed.
I can do that. I can do that.
Yes, communicate with you because it says, okay, come with me. I want that. Sometimes that it's a not say you can be in the ordinary world. It's not so simple. It's not so simple. No, no, yeah, because I know where it is. I never stay there. I know where it is. It's the first time I am. That's right. All right.
Okay, it's time to change. So, the group one, which is now group two, go to the table. Then there will be the next one.
I only wish you to be healthy, not have stress.
The round. From the government, they were speaking a lot, the commission, they were like, really requesting the
Thank you very much. Now is the time to go back. And I asked to the spokesperson to bring the flip chart paper with them. Okay, so it's time to conclude. Now it's the time for a quick discussion about what happened during the 3 rounds we had during the interactive activity. So I would ask to the 3 spokespersons to take the floor. Where is Clara with microphone? Okay, to take the floor and show up to us, to the audience, the main outcomes, the main discussions that you had in the groups. So I would start with the group number 1. Yeah, if she wants, she also can come here.
Okay. Yeah.
I can,
You can.
yeah, I can be the human flip chart.
But in this, for me to be more visual in this.
Oh, yes, I can cover myself.
Okay. Shall I tell the scenario?
Quickly,
What?
in some words.
Okay. This one. Okay, we had the scenario A, like Maria the barista. According to this scenario, Maria is a 26-year-old woman that has autism, and she had previous experience working in a kitchen. Now she needs to work like in a small coffee shop at her neighborhood, in her community. She is detail-oriented, enjoys repetitive tasks, follow instructions carefully. However, she has some struggles with social interactions, changes in her routine, is frustrated when tasks are not clear, and she had difficulties to give feedback to her supervisors. And the key question was, what challenges might Maria face into the work environment, and what specific communication and support strategies could help Maria to overcome the challenges? And practically, I would like to say that we had a discussion on that, and we come to the following challenges, like the main challenges are related, to have special conditions and are related to social interactions with various clients. She has difficulties to understand the orders. She has problems to manage the work environment. She has pressure. She has a big pressure to work quickly, like it is expected in a coffee shop, and she has very big problems with social interactions with co-workers and difficulties to give the feedback to her supervisors. What can help in this case? First of all, we come to the conclusion that there is a need for some visualization of the her tasks, like visualization of the menu and retail ordering, if she will work like without co-worker and without support. She needs a detailed induction. We need to identify jointly with Maria the problems she faces and the control measures and techniques that can help her, that can help her to fill her tasks. And to accommodate the stress, we need also to identify trust persons that can be mentee, co-workers of Maria, with whom she can work in pair, and she can do some specific activities, and also the co-worker can help with her frustration and so on, and also can support her to give a feedback to her supervisors. And also giving Maria, we can give Maria just a specific tasks, like for example, making coffee, and the co-worker will have like more communication with the, let's say, customers. And in addition, we can support her to develop her communication skills based on individualized approach and person-centered planning. We can have a visual daily schedule for her, and she can learn if some changes will be there. The daily schedule will change. And also we need to maybe to give her a lot of capacity building based on role playing. And you know that there are now a lot of software programs when, for example, she can learn the role models, how she need to act in a specific situation, and after that she can remind this role model, during her activities. Thank you very much. I'd like to thank you to all the people participating in this discussion. I think that we come in the end with a very interesting, let's say, plan of activities. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Group number 2. Oh, of course. Oh, this is a bit.
So yeah, we have scenario B. So in our scenario, we have Helen. She's the administrative assistant. She has autism, and she has recently hired as she has been recently hired, as I said, as an administrative assistant. So she's really good with entering data, but she prefers working independently. So she's struggling with social interaction and communication. And if she talks with others, it is usually about her special interest, which is talking about like pets. So however, this has like a negative impact in terms of her interaction and relationship with others and her colleagues. There is obviously the risk of her being isolated because the way she interacts and socializes has created a bit of awkwardness and people are now avoiding her. So first of all, we discuss about how we can help Helen. So some of the strategies are similar with the strategies that the first group discussed. So first of all, we talk about having a job coach to help you, perhaps practice in small talk. Then we did say again, as the first group, practicing in role play in the beginning that can happen with a job coach, then potentially later on with colleagues as well. Perhaps you can practice with specific examples, then move on to practicing actually in real scenarios. Then we did also discuss about giving her specific strategies. So let's say decide with her that she can, she can have some structure when she talks. So for example, she can talk about her special interest for 2 minutes or 3 and then move on to something else. We also discussed about the potential of her having like a buddy in the workplace. So if she have like any questions in terms of like when it's appropriate to communicate something, or the buddy can also give the guidance proactively to her, then that can also happen. We discussed about virtual reality as well, so help her expand on her social skills using specific programs, specific applications as well if she has access, or we can give her access. And we also talk about the possibility of helping her to expand her interest. So it might be, that she really likes talking about pets, and that's absolutely fine. That's what is meaningful to her. But maybe, we can pair talking about pets with something else, and maybe, that can help her to talk about other things, and that can help her socialize with others a bit better. And the second part was how we can actually educate her colleagues and try to, help in terms of them being more positive to her and accept her for, who she is. So we did say that we can create like a training for the colleagues, including Helen as well, to try to discuss about differences in people's communication as well. Say that, sometimes people want to spend some time alone. Sometimes people that have autism, they might be repetitive about what they like. So if we actually help the colleagues understand her needs, they might be able to, accept her better, because they will understand her better. We also said that we can create we can suggest to create an area for people that they want to spend some time alone, and it might not be Helen, it might be other people as well. What else did we say? Anything else we said? And also we said apart from, we can also put Helen again to sit down with people, suggest her to sit down closer to people that they have similar interests as well. That's another proactive strategy. And also again, we can sit down with Helen and her colleagues and perhaps, discuss about other strategies that they can agree together that they can use as signals to say when she wants to talk about things, or she doesn't want to talk, or she wants to spend some time alone if she doesn't want to use the room that she sits down alone, if she doesn't want that idea. So yeah, that's everything that we discussed. So people had like a really great ideas in my group. So yeah, thank you for that.
Okay, last but not least.
I will take this one because you have.
Thank you very much. You can be the human flip chart, this number 2.
Will you speak also?
Really appreciate it.
Yeah, okay.
I just ask you to be quick and summarize also
course, yeah.
the scenario.
Yes, hello, everybody. I'm between you and lunch, so I will be brief. Thank you. We had a great group. Thank you, the group. You know who we are. So we basically we had to find something that employers can do to make the hiring process and training practices process more inclusive. So an individual is here our star. He or she is in the middle. She is the most important person, and he or she can tell what she or he needs. We as professionals, we don't say that you need this kind of adjustment. No, the individual has to tell it by themselves. So more capacities and skills than diplomas, because many people, they don't have diplomas, but they have specific skills. Better interview methods, which are more inclusive. We have visual aids, for example, using, and so that kind of things, using alternative communication and qualification methods, and also using technology during the interview. That would be nice. And when going to training practices side, mentorships are quite good. We also ourselves hiring autistic people in Finland. We found around 40-50 jobs per year for autistic people, and job coaches who are present in the workplace. We found that's really working method. Then using of VR, HR, virtual reality, augmented reality to help people to adapt and understand what kind of place they are going into. That would also be really helpful. 360 view of the thing in your VR glasses, then you know where you're going to. So that's simply that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for this group discussion. Before to conclude, I have a question for my speakers. After this group work and this very nice presentation from the spokespersons, do you think you can gain any idea or anything which can be also applied or translated into reality for your daily job in the organization? What do you think? It's an open question. If you,
I think.
Of course, it was very constructive, all this job we did together. And I heard some ideas that would be helpful for us, especially in the last quote, the last scenario. It was very inspiring that you put the individual at the center. Our key question, to be honest, it was a little bit has a trigger, and we would like to see the employers and what the employers could be do, for example, to search for training in how to hire or train the individuals. So you show us the perspective of the person clear, and that has something to add in our tools.
I'm completely agree with that. I like very much you have done. The work is it's a very good work. In fact, I want to say I can say something more, but it's very difficult because it's a very good work. You are professional. You are dedicated to that. I'm agree with the idea of put the center of the person in the is the important person. We work for the person. So it's a little idea which is not completely close to that. I like the ideas also of the second scenario, but it's an idea. I know I don't know if it's it fits or not, but I will say that the idea is for me is it's interesting how we are speaking that we have to do all tailored things for the person, but how easy can be if you are the contrary, because if you do things to the company, to the whole company, to be more could be good for the person. If I leave all the steps in this place, could be better for all. Could be better for if I have a wheelchair, but I think it's good for all the organization. I don't think if I can I have explained that this idea or not, I hope.
Thank you very much. Do you want to say something?
Yes, I would like to thank all because they gave us some new ideas. And I totally agree with my co-speakers, both of what you've said. And it was very interesting, all this. Thank you so much.
So just to conclude, during this workshop, we had the possibility to look at some practices, look also at some real life scenario and reflect about we can do something more. We know there is a lot of work to do, and each one in our organization, in our daily job, we can do our best. And I think this kind of occasions, like such kind of brainstormings, would be the something that can spark new ideas and new approaches for the future to improve the access and the retaining of persons with autism and intellectual disabilities into open labor market. I really hope that you will keep something from this workshop, and I want to thank once again the speakers and also you as audience, because the brainstorming was impressive and really fruitful. So thank you very much